Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sana IE. I'm your host, EXO. If this is your first time listening, Sana IE is a podcast that really deals with mental health and really the aspects of mental health when it comes to certain topics, certain traits, certain coping mechanisms, as well as really involve. It's been a minute. Sana IE. We really discuss on this podcast mental health, discussing mental health issues, mental health problems, mental health solutions, coping mechanisms, different triggers for mental health, and different trauma events that correlate with mental health, even if it's childhood trauma, relationship trauma, parental trauma, just different traumas in life. And on this podcast, we really cover everything that deals with mental health. And so we're majoring in mental health and minoring in financial literacy. And that's what we do here on Sana. I really brought this podcast to life when a few years ago I lost my dear cousin to mental health issues, to suicide. And that really opened the door for me to really discover and really get in tune with my personal mental health as well as the mental health of the people around me. So every time I press record on this podcast is really for her. That is my why. Why am I doing the podcast? It's for her to really educate the people around us that's dealing with anything mentally, because we all go through mental health struggles on a daily basis, whether it's dealing with jobs, family, career, life. Life is just tough overall, especially these past 2 years with dealing with COVID and whatnot. So, and if you're dealing with anything mentally, always know that you have someone there to talk to vent to lean on, to help you and uplift you through any hard times that you're going through, any trials and tribulations, anything that you're feeling. Even if you're feeling like you're in a depressive state or depressed overall or dealing with depression, talk to somebody, open up to somebody, give somebody that's near you that you know you can open up to, even if you have to reach out to one of the hotlines. Don't be afraid to open up and vent and show your strength. Be vulnerable and open up about anything that you're dealing with mentally, anything that you're dealing with physically, anything that you're dealing with overall. Be the one to open up and talk about it, because you never know what somebody else around you is going through. So you'll have to show that strength to uplift other people who may be dealing with mental health issues or mental health problems. So welcome to the show. If you're first time listening, I appreciate you taking the time out your day to listen to the podcast, listen to us, listen to Sana IE. On this episode, I'm going to do a November reflection, as well as an evaluation of November for myself personally and for the podcast. And then we're going to discuss some of the December goals, December plans, and 2022 is right around the corner, people. And I'm grateful overall for this year and everything that I've learned this year and everything that I've accomplished this year. It's been a great, tremendous year, a year full of blessings, a year full of lessons. And I'm truly grateful and thankful for everybody that's been sticking with me, supporting me, and riding with me throughout this journey, throughout this year. If you ain't know, we are officially recording in the Sana IE headquarters. I know the last few episodes I've been doing interviews and recording at different places, but now from now on we're recording in the Sana IE headquarters, and I've just been focused on getting that together and get that built up. But I'm extremely grateful, man. Like I said, this year's been a great year overall. Just a lot of lessons were learned, and I'm truly grateful for everything that I've learned this year overall. But on this episode, like I said, we're going to discuss November, reflect November, evaluate November. I want to know how your November was as well. Where'd you exceed expectations at? Where'd you fall short at? Evaluate yourself and see how you did with November and how you're going to attack December. And this is officially the first week of December, first week out the books. And I just want to see how you guys are progressing so far throughout this year. When it comes to your overall goals, I know we're in the last month and it just flies by. This year flew by. But let me kick it off with some quotes today. I'm going to give you a brief break, and then we're going to jump into the 2 segments that I got up. My first quote is, "A savage mindset is a conditioned mindset that knows quitting isn't a part of the plan. It knows that it has to find a way around any and all obstacles to complete the mission." What type of mindset do you have? Be honest with yourself. Do you have a savage mindset to, like, quitting isn't an option? Or are you a quitter? Be honest. Like, if you're a quitter, like, there's people quit all A lot of people quit throughout life. But this quote talks about a savage mindset. And if you don't have a savage mindset, you can slowly but surely, day by day, chip away to build up into a savage mindset, because quitting isn't a part of the plan. Anything that you want to do, you got to know, like, yo, quitting isn't part of the plan. The plan will change. It'll get reconstructed. There will be hardships. There will be obstacles. But at the end of the day, I will finish this plan. I will complete this plan. I will complete this mission, no matter what happens, because this is my main focus. This is my goal. This is my overall plan of where I want to be and where I need to be. So I can't quit because times get rough, because shit happens in life, because you had a heartbreak, you lost a job, you lost people. You got to know, like, yo, I can't quit because somebody else is relying on me. This is my why. I can't quit because of that. My why is my burning purpose to get this done. And that mind knows you have to find a way through any and all obstacles to complete the mission. So do you have a savage mindset? Let me know. Hit me up, sanai.com, in the reviews. Message me on any social media platform. Follow us. If you ain't following us right now, follow us on any social media platform at Sanai. Once you hit that follow, I'll send you out some gear, some merch from the podcast. So follow us, tell your people to follow us, and anybody that you recommend to follow us, tell them to let us know, and we'll send you some merch for supporting us throughout the times. But once again, that quote was, a savage mindset is a conditioned mindset that knows quitting isn't part of the plan. It knows that it has to find a way around any and all obstacles to complete the mission. And my next quote is, being single used to mean that nobody wanted you. Now it means you're pretty sexy and you are taking the time deciding how you want your life to be and who you want to spend it with. I found this quote. I was like, yo, this is speaking to your boy. But like I said, now it means you're pretty sexy. You gotta, like, it starts with loving yourself when you're single. Love yourself, love who you are, and figure out who you are now. Who are you now that you're single, or that you've been single for this long? Figure out who you are, know your worth, and you're taking the time deciding how you want your life to be. You're figuring out the plans for yourself, me, myself, and I. That's what it comes down to when you're being single. It's like you're not relying on anyone else or trying to fulfill somebody else's happiness. You're focused on your happiness, deciding what you want, what's best for your life, and who you want to spend your life with. We've all had relationships in our life, some good, some bad, some ended, but they gave you a perspective and an idea of, like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and this is the qualities that I want in a person. If you listen to the last episode with myself and Jill, we was talking about mental health and relationships, and just really writing out and figure out the qualities that you want in a person. And it's not all about looks, it's about how they treat themselves, how they treat the people around them, are they family oriented? What are their goals? What are their plans? What are their mission? Have they healed through past traumatic relationships? And it's really digging deep and figuring out that about them as well as that about yourself. Have you healed from past relationships? Do you know what you want in life? Or is the plan right now to be single? And you'll know if, like, you're meant to be single and meant to be alone, and that being alone, it's not really you're alone, you're single. You're just figuring out what you need and what you want for your life, who you want to spend your life with, as well as your mission, your plan. What is your plan for yourself? Maybe right now being single is the plan simply because you have a lot to accomplish. You have a plan, you have a list of goals that you want to do, and being in a relationship will hinder you from that growth that you want to get into. So it's like figuring out that all on your own. And that's what I've been doing myself personally. Figuring out what I want for my life. Well, I already know what I want for my life, but deciding that and really healing. I think the biggest part is healing after a breakup, after a relationship, and figuring out, are you fully healed? You won't be fully healed after a relationship, but you'll be going through the healing phases and learning yourself all over again. So don't be in a rush to get back into a relationship, or be in a relationship, or be in a rush to be like, oh, nobody loves me, nobody wants to be with me, nobody's talking to me, my text messages are, my phone is dry and all that stuff. It's like, nah, enjoy that alone time. Enjoy that time with yourself, so you know who you are, what you want, and what you need to accomplish. But once again, that quote is, Being single used to mean that nobody wanted you. Now it means you are pretty sexy and you're taking the time deciding how you want your life to be and who you want to spend it with. But I'm gonna give y'all a brief break and I'll be right back with Sauna IE. And we back. So the two segments that I have up today really just covers November reflection and evaluation, as well as December goals and plans. As far as November, for the podcast, November was great. We had two great interviews with Jason Allman discussing his journey from UCLA football to pursuing his LVN, as well as discussing his story. His story was very deep and impactful when he was just talking about the surgeon and his grandma, when he was just talking about him giving back to ground zero with his the community. Within the Black community, it's always the stereotype of the fatherless homes or the absent father, and him really giving back and dedicating his time to the kids of the community, as well as being a father figure in their lives, is what is needed. And that interview really impacted me and really shaped me to really give back and do more for the community, do more for the people around us, as well as help the people around us. And if you haven't heard that episode, go back, take a gander back. The episode is titled From UCLA to LVN. It's a great episode. A lot of knowledge was dropped, a lot of information, a lot of conversation. It gets deep. It's a really deep episode. It's impactful, it's inspiring, it's motivating, and he just discusses a lot, as well as cutting off dead weight. We all know in our lives, as we on our journeys, we got to cut off some people, cut off some friends, cut off some relationships, and really push forward to where we're trying to be and trying to get to. Not a lot of people will understand the journey you're on and the journey you're getting on. So sometimes you just really have to cut off and really 10 toes down and focus on what you're trying to do in life, as well as when it comes to your career and those passions and aspirations. So if you haven't heard, once again, check out that episode From UCLA to LVN. Great episode with Jason Allman discussing his journey, as well as last episode, the relationship mental health talk with Gio. We had a crossover show, and we really just want to talk about mental health and relationships, because I feel like as far as in relationships, that's rarely discussed. I try to look at the long-term relationships in my life when it comes to my aunties, my uncles, my parents, and really seeing how they really sat down to really discuss the mental health. And honestly, they really haven't, to my knowledge. But it really comes down to really making sure you guys are on the same page mentally, as well as when you're growing. And if your mental health isn't there, can you lean on them to pick you up, uplift you, or will they understand what you're dealing with mentally? And that was just deep. We talked about that, talked about like some first date questions, as well as red flag questions, getting to know that person, saying what are their goals, are they healing, have they healed, or can you grow with that person? And Gio lays down her detailed answers of finding who's really meant for you and who's really just trying to, see my language, just fuck. And that's deep. So check out that episode as well. Great episode. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a review. If y'all didn't like the episode, let me know why you didn't like it. If you don't like the episode, or if you don't like something about the podcast, let me know. I love constructive criticism. I love all types of criticism overall. But November, yeah. And then another show I dropped was Intro to Mental Health. I'm really stepping forward and really treating each episode like a it's slipping my mind right now, but like a lecture class. That's why I did the Intro to Mental Health and really discuss that. What is mental health, the different types of mental health, and how we can strengthen our mental health on a daily basis. The biggest one I know that you can strengthen your mental health is exercising daily for at least 30 to 45 minutes, getting some exercise in and really getting those endorphins kicking and get the dopamine kicking into where you're really energized and really appreciative and loving yourself for the workout that you've done. Trust me, if you've done a 30 to 45 minute workout, after you're done, you feel like you've conquered the world. But those 3 episodes really held weight throughout November, and then the holiday came, Thanksgiving, and I had to take a hiatus. That's why we back now. But didn't really not drop too many shows in November. I was getting really adjusted with my new place, as well as setting up the office and getting everything in line. But I'm grateful that my two guests came out and dedicated their time and really came onto the show and educated us. And I feel like those 3 episodes carried the show throughout November, because a lot of people have been hitting me with the feedback and reviews, and we have so many reviews. I'm truly grateful for everybody that's been reviewing, leaving reviews, subscribing to the show, liking the show, sharing the show. Without y'all, none of this is possible, for real. I'm truly grateful that everybody takes pride in the mental health. But with those 3 shows were impactful. I dropped some new designs, some new merch out for Sana'i. Got the Me versus Me hat. The Dream is Free, the Hustle is sold separately hat, and a few other designs that I dropped, as well as new designs for this month. I know it's getting towards the winter / what is it, next fall, I believe. Getting those gear ready for you guys to rock and support, and I appreciate y'all. Like I said, anybody you tell to follow the show, send to the show, or subscribe to the show, let me know. Tell them to let me know as well, as I will send out merch on my personal behalf to you. I'll mail it to you. And all I ask, whatever you get the merch, just take a picture, tag Sana'i, and I'll greatly appreciate it. Also, like I said, I've been receiving a lot of feedback on the November shows. I got great reviews that I'll be reading towards the end of the show, but a lot of feedback. I was honestly surprised. Like, I just literally sat down and started reading the reviews, and I was like grateful. And I'm glad that what I'm doing is helping people and inspiring people, and really letting people take note of their mental health and how they're doing mentally, as well as doing a lot of networking. I've been networking all throughout November with different people, different guests. I have new guests coming on for 2022, so be on the lookout for that, as well as different sponsors, getting ads put into the show, and really changing the direction of the show, really focusing on, like I said, majoring in mental health and minoring in financial literacy. So that's what we're attacking throughout 2022, and really getting on with that. As well as we're on TikTok, y'all. If you got a TikTok, follow us at Sana'i. We're on TikTok, still getting the hang of that, as well as our IG reels. We're doing a lot of reels, a lot of TikToks now, and getting more in tune with that. So if you ain't following us on TikTok, follow us at Sana'i, as well as on IG, follow us at Sana'i. Check out the TikToks, check out the reels, share the TikTok, share the reels, and I really greatly appreciate it. If you haven't heard any other episodes that I mentioned, check them out. Check out from UCLA to LVN. Check out the Sana'i and Never Will I Ever crossover show. It's really great. As well as check out the Intro to Mental Health. If you still don't know what mental health is, or the real definition of mental health, I know it gets thrown around a lot, but check that out. Intro to Mental Health is a great introduction to what mental health is. As far as December, we made it, people. December 2021. This year really blew by from start to finish. I'm extremely grateful from where I started to where I'm at, and especially being in the Sana'i headquarters. This is it's still surreal to me, because I'm it's been a long time coming that, you feel like you gotta pinch yourself, is this real? And you're like, oh yeah, this is real. But yeah, I'm just extremely grateful. I'm cheesing right now. But December. Making a more impact on more people. That's one of my goals when it comes to mental health. Reaching out to everybody that I see and talk to, especially when it comes to my coworkers, because I feel like my coworkers are walking around zombified and energy drained, and really just talking to people, seeing how they're doing mentally, and really checking in on people. That's what I always like to reiterate, is checking on people's mental health, checking on them daily, checking on them every other day. Whatever you have to do, just check on the people around you. If you got access to somebody, you got somebody's number, you access to the DM, checking on somebody, hey, how are you doing mentally? And you'll be surprised what people may come out and tell you. So checking on people, it's not just about you. Check on the people around you and see how they're doing mentally, because you never know what somebody's dealing with or going through, or any mental health battles that they're dealing with, and you'll be able to help them. You'll give them the right resources to help. So always check on people when it comes to their mental health, because you never know. As well as, this goes on, it's like a run on, but learning more about the mental health of my family, my friends, and myself. Those are the biggest things, especially seeing how my family's doing mentally. Throughout this year, throughout everything, we've all been through something that affected us mentally, and some people haven't talked about it. Some people just bottled it up and kept pushing along the way. But it's take that time out to check in with your family members, check in with your friends, check in with your coworkers, check in with yourself. How are you doing mentally? How did this year affect you mentally? How are you doing with new life stresses, new life struggles, with any problems that came up, with any traumas that you dealt with this year? Have you talked about it? Have you opened up and vented to somebody? Or have you even journaled? Journaling relieves a lot of weight off of you. And that's a form of self-care, because you're writing out how you're feeling, what you're feeling, and you'll be able to go back and read that and be like, dang, I was feeling this way at this point, but I've grown and I'm not feeling this way, but I can help somebody that's maybe going through the same thing that I've dealt with at the time. So journaling, if you haven't journaled, take some time out your day, even if it's just 5 minutes, journal, to get a pen and pad, journal, or even look, this is what I started doing. I started doing my voice memo. Open my voice memo and started recording how my day was and journaling out my day through my voice memos. If you don't feel like reading, you always feel like talking. So get out the voice memo and just really express how your day was and how you felt, and something that triggered you, something that helped you cope, something that made you smile. Like, journal all that out and evaluate your day, and evaluate how you did that day when it came to friendships, relationships, when it came to stuff that tried to get under your skin or pressure you. So start journaling and really figuring out who you are, as well as helping you. That's another one of my goals, helping you any way I can. If there's anything I can help you when it comes to life, when it comes to career, when it comes to anything, if you're trying to start a podcast yourself, if you're trying to start a clothing line yourself, or any entrepreneurial dreams that you have or journeys, or even if you want to talk about stocks or get in the stock market, I'm here for you. I'm here to help. That's my biggest thing. I'm here to help anybody that needs help, that wants help, that's willing to ask for help. Even if it's not with me, always be willing to ask for help from other people. Don't feel like you can't ask for help because you feel like you know it all, or you feel like you don't want to ask for help because they may say no or they may reject you. You never know. Always ask for help if you need it. Don't feel like you can do it all on your own. And I'm learning that myself. Deviating tasks, getting my assistant really up to date on everything that's going on, especially that's the 2022 that we're getting into, updating her on everything that we're doing and the direction that we're going when it comes to Sanai, as well as my last goal, posting more on social media, posting more on networks, posting on where my demographic is, where my audience is. And I've learned that more of my audience is on Facebook, and really getting in tune with Facebook, getting in the Facebook groups and talking to people and seeing how they're doing mentally. Even if it's a stranger, talk to people. You see people every day, see how they're doing mentally. That you'll be surprised when you ask, hey, how are you doing mentally? People will like, dang, nobody's really asked me how I've done mentally. And you'll get that question, but be willing to open up yourself. But as far as my December goals, those are a few of my December goals for the podcast. Impact more people when it comes to mental health, learning more about mental health with my family, friends, as well as myself, helping you any way that I can, posting more on social media and networking more. As far as my plans, this month we're dropping at least 7 shows. So be on the lookout for 7 shows this month. 2 of them will be interviews. I'm doing giveaways, holiday deals, preparing for 2022, as well as reflecting back on how this year was overall for myself, and how it was for the podcast, and how it was for the business, and seeing what worked and what didn't work and what's going to carry on to the next year. So really giving that reflection, evaluation of 2021. Man, it's just been a great year. I'm truly grateful. I keep saying that, but I'm just grateful for this year because it's been a rocky road. And like they say, in the beginning, you have a vision for where you want to be. It's like you want something to happen like that, but it's like delaying that gratification works wonders. But I appreciate y'all. This episode, reflection episode in November, and detailing my December plans. What are your December plans? What do you have planned for December? What are your goals? What are your systems that you're setting in place to attain your goals? Let me know. I want to know anything and everything that you've been going through or dealing with, or any good things that's been happening to you, any good news that you have, any promotions, any new businesses that you started, buying a new home, or anything like that of that nature. Let me know what accomplishments you made throughout this year and how that's helped you, or even any lessons that you learned that stuck with you all throughout the year. Let me know. Sanai.com. Greatly appreciate it. And follow us on all social media platforms. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. I'm not too sure about Snapchat yet, but just follow us. You'll get all the latest updates, all the latest merch drops, and as well as if you're not following us on Patreon, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Sanai. All these links will be in the show notes. Look in the show notes and reviews. Love the reviews. Thank you for everybody that's left a review. I'm gonna read off some of the reviews in the recap, but I'm really grateful for everybody that's taking the time out to review on the show, listening to the show, really pushing the show out to other people and really letting other people know about mental health and the things that we go through on a daily basis, because it's tough. Life is crazy, and really figuring out and learning how to cope with different stresses of life really helps us out. And I'm truly grateful and appreciative of everybody that listens to the show, from the people that's been here from the beginning to the new listeners that's listening right now. Without y'all, none of this is possible. I'm truly grateful for you and everything that you're doing, man. And I'm gonna give y'all a brief break, and we're gonna come back with the recap. Thank you for tuning in to Sana IE. Back with the recap. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into today's episode of Sana IE. I hope this episode gave you an insight of how our November went, as well as our plans for December and the evaluation. I feel like at the end of every month, we have to do a self-evaluation of ourselves to see, did we accomplish what we planned out this month? Did we fall short? Where did we lack? Where did we exceed some expectations? And really just focusing in on bettering ourselves throughout entering the new month and everything. That's why it's like the first week of December, and seeing, are you still on November's energy, or did you switch up and have some newfound energy for December, newfound aspiration, newfound motivation, newfound inspiration to close out the year strong, finish this the last quarter of the year strong, and evaluate yourself. Evaluate how you did throughout this year, where you lacked at and where you exceeded at, and really get in that and focus on how you can really take what you learned this year into 2022 and bettering yourself and bettering your community and bettering the people around you. But with that being said, let's kick off the recap with the quotes of the day. My first quote was, "A savage mindset is a conditioned mindset that knows quitting isn't a part of the plan. It knows that it has to find a way around any and all obstacles to complete the mission." I've quit before in my life. I've quit. But over time, those times where I quit, I've developed a savage mindset to where, like, oh, now quitting isn't an option. Figuring out your why you're doing something, why you created this plan that you're creating, why you're on this mission that you're on. Figuring out that why will help you out on the days where you don't feel like doing shit. The days you feel like, yo, I want to quit. But then you'll think back and you'll take that time and like, yo, no, I can't quit, because this is why I started. And I knew these days would come where the days where I want to quit are here. And it's like, nah, I knew these days were coming, and I'm built for this. My mindset is built for this, and I'm built to get past this. This is just an obstacle that I have to go through and learn through. So we all quit at something in our lives, but developing a savage mindset to know that throughout anything and everything, you will prevail. There will be obstacles, there will be hurdles, there will be hardships, there will be heartbreaks, there will be loss of jobs, loss of friends, loss of loved ones. But you can't let that knock you off your course, knock you off your mission, knock you off your plan of what you need to accomplish, what you know you need to accomplish yourself, within yourself. That plan that's always been on your mind, stuck in your mind since day one. So prepare for those days where you feel like quitting, and find out and dig deep on why you shouldn't quit. The second quote was, "Being single used to mean that nobody wanted you. Now it means you are pretty sexy, and you are taking your time deciding how you want your life to be and who you want to spend it with." There's so many thoughts that's running through my head right now, but yeah, being single. Embrace the singleness, that alone time. Embrace yourself. Learn what you want about. Learn yourself. You're learning yourself all over again if you're newly single. Learn how to be single. Learn what you need in your life, what you want in your life. Learn just to be alone, to where you're not chasing anything. You're just being open and receiving and attracting what's meant for you. And that goes deep, because when you're single, you want your phone to be blowing up with different text messages, different women and men hitting you. And it's like, no, this time right now is for you, yourself, and I. That time to figure out what your plan is, what your mission is, what are your goals, what do you plan on accomplishing this year, next year, what do you need to accomplish? Is being in a relationship or dating right now, is that really what you need, or is that something that you want? And it's like figuring that out, what you need in your life right now versus trying to chase after what you want. Figure out what you need. And then we got into the November reflection, talking about our 2 great interviews that we had from UCLA to LVN with Jason Allman, as well as the crossover show with Gio Cullins, talking about mental health and relationships, which is big and major key when it goes into relationships, because there's so many things that shape a relationship that you have to know versus just going in blind. So check out that episode. That episode is very educational and informative, as well as the episode with Jason Allman discussing his journey, the impact that he made, as well as November. November's been an overall great month. We made an impact, a tremendous impact when it came to reviews. As I see, I'm gonna read those off, as well as the designs, creating new designs, working on new designs and new merch right now as we speak. So if you're listening to this right now, it's your first time listening, go ahead, subscribe to the show, follow us on any social media platform, and let me know, whatever social media platform you follow us on, message me, DM me, and we will send out some merch to you. As well as on TikTok, follow us on TikTok, follow us on IG. If you haven't heard any of the latest episodes, the intro to mental health, from UCLA to LVN, the crossover show with Never Will I Ever podcast, check those episodes out. Those episodes are really inspiring, and they have a lot of information in there for you on any type of journey that you're on. Like one episode, like I said, the crossover episode talks about relationships and mental health, and the UCLA to LVN episode talks about the journey of starting out at a 4-year college with a degree and really changing course in the middle. And it's like but really educating us on the journey that it took of who he is today. So check those episodes out. Let me know what you think. Do evaluation on yourself. Evaluate yourself. How did you do throughout this year? I want to know how you did. Reach out, hit me up, let me know so we can talk about it. I mean, there's some areas that I failed at myself, but it's all about picking up and keeping moving forward. So let me know. SonaIE.com or any platform, or any social media platform. Even email us at sonaiepodcast@gmail.com. Talked about the December plans, making a more impact on people when it comes to mental health, learning more about my mental health, my family's mental health, as well as the mental health of my friends and my coworkers and the people around me, even the strangers that you see daily. If you're always going to Starbucks and you're always seeing Todd at Starbucks, ask Todd how he's doing. Check in with Todd, see how he's doing, see how the week's been, see how he's doing mentally, see how this year's been for him mentally. Don't just keep going to Starbucks every day and seeing Todd and just ordering your fucking minty, whatever you get from there. So start learning, talking to people that you see on a daily basis, even strangers, man. Talk to people. When it comes to mental health, we're all dealing with something mentally, or we've dealt with something mentally, and we all can help each other out in some way or form. So help others around you, help your community, help yourself too. Check in on yourself. Maybe you been going through this year and you've been depressed all year and you just haven't know it. You didn't know the signs of depression. Now you're like, damn, this whole year I've been depressed because so happened. Open up with yourself. Journal. Get open your voice memo. If you don't like writing, do that voice memo. Speak it out. Get it off your chest. Get it off your mind. Speak it out and lay it out for that day. What that day was, or what's been holding you back. Helping you any way I can. That's another goal of mine. Any way I can help you, let me know. Hit me up. Reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to me or anybody that you want help from. It's always good to ask. If they say no, hey, fuck it. On to the next one. One no is closest to the next yes. Posting more on social media for me and networking more with people. If you're in the mental health space, you're a mental health advocate, or you're a psychiatrist, psychologist, anything of that trait that deals with mental health, reach out to me. Let's set up an interview. Let's discuss more. Let's research more. Let's see how we can help each other out when it comes to mental health and helping out our community, helping out the people around us. Plans for this month, 7 shows. This is the first one, so I guess it's 6 more now. Got 2 more interviews. The next show I know I'm going to be stepping aside, and really a lot of people have been requesting getting some Netflix picks in, so I've been low-key Netflix and chilling a lot lately, and I'm like trying to get all that whole, but I've been really doing my research when it comes on Netflix. So next episode will be my Netflix picks, Netflix recommendations, some shows that's on my watch list, and really letting y'all know about some of the movies and shows and documentaries that I've been watching lately. So that'll be the next episode. Then we're gonna go on with an interview, which would be like next Tuesday. So the Netflix episode will be Friday, and then next Tuesday or Wednesday with the interview. So be on the lookout for those. I'm also doing giveaways on the Netflix episode. I'll explain more about that, as well as our holiday deals, preparing for 2022, and reflecting on this year. This year's been a great year. I'm extremely grateful for it. The ups and the downs, the good times, the bad times, the hard times, everything that I've been throughout this year really has helped me, groom me, and shape me to who I want to be in 2022. I've been reading a lot this year. It's crazy how many books I've read. I was honestly surprised when I was going through the list today. I was like, damn, I read that many books, but that's how it goes. It's just like continuously evolving and growing day by day with anything that you do. And let's get into some of these reviews that were left. First review is by B. Gotti Brands. Shout out to you for leaving a review and taking the time out to listen to the show. The review says, mentally soothing, definitely a gem dropper for mental health. Thank you, B. Gotti. Appreciate you tuning in. The next one is by Three Bayous. Shout out to everybody out there in New Orleans. As a mental health professional who does a lot of coaching around money and our money mindset, I love learning that this show is out here. As a mom of 5 sons, I love it even more. Thank you and keep up the great work. Susie Petit. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate you leaving a comment and reviewing as well as being a mental health professional. I want to dive in and talk to you more about what you do when it comes to mental health. And like you say, you do a lot of coaching around money and money mindset. That's great. I'm gonna have to get you on the show. Appreciate you leaving that review. Next review is by Gigi Holland. Such a great mental health and finance podcast. Just finished listening to the latest episode with the foodie. Shout out to the episode with Las Vegas Phil. That's a great episode. If you haven't heard that episode, it's the foodie episode, and it's great. I love that episode. On with the review. I thought it was funny yet very creative how the foodie built a following by leaving adult style food reviews, and they said they subscribe. Thank you, Gigi Holland. And yeah, check out the foodie episode. That is one of my favorite episodes too of this year. Shout out to Las Vegas Phil. He's doing his thing right now. We was just talking. He's still out there trying different foods in LV. If you're out there in Vegas, anything, reach out to him. He'll reach out, open up, and if you're trying to become a foodie yourself, check out the episode, and he drops a lot of knowledge on how to get into the foodie game. My next review is by BeccaBoo.com. Shout out to Becca Boo. Very important content and great production. The host has a great radio voice as well. I might go into radio. Shout out to you, Becca. Next review is Sunny2488. Okay, the host voice is so soothing and peaceful. Love how they do Mental Health Mondays. So important. Shout out to Mental Health Mondays. We're coming back with y'all live in 2 weeks with Mental Health Monday. So be on the lookout. A lot of mental health knowledge dropping on there. I'm debating if I should do Financial Friday still. Let me know. Next review is by Angie, and Angie wrote, do yourself a favor and take a listen. Shout out to you. Thank you. EXO has a smooth, calming presence and gives great tips on personal development, mental health, and financial literacy. Can't wait to binge the rest of the episode. Hey, I can't wait for you to binge them too. Thank you for really tuning in and subscribing, Angie. I appreciate the comment. I'm grateful for everyone that left a review, a comment. Last one is from Avid Fun. This is an accessible variety show podcast. Great valuable topics to discuss. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Avid Fun. Appreciate everybody that's been left in a review and leaving reviews all throughout this year, and everybody that's been here since day one, the newcomers, the new listeners, everybody. Without y'all, none of this is possible. I'm extremely grateful for everyone that's been here. Thank you. Like I said, next episode, I know a lot of us like to Netflix and chill. Well, I got that Netflix episode for y'all. So we're going to discuss some of my Netflix recommendations, some of my shows that's on my to-watch list, and get some quotes for y'all as well. But I hope y'all have a great week. Be back again on Friday. Be on the lookout. Share the show. Share with a friend. Send it to a friend. Like, subscribe, leave a review. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you didn't think or didn't like. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. Have a great week. We'll be back again on Friday with Sana.